3 votes to 2. That's Zazar. And Zazar, we're really sad to see you go. You did a lot of great work this season. We really enjoyed having you on, and we'll all, I'm sure, be watching your channel and seeing how you do with your channel from now on. Now it's time
to... Oh, judges of Who Reviews the Reviewers, my old friends. Do you know the old Klingon proverb that revenge is a dish best served with a side order of fries? Nah, but I kid the judges of Who Reviews the Reviewers. I can't say anything but good things and give nothing but thanks for this wonderful experience of all these 6 months of being on Who Reviews the Reviewers. So I give all my thanks in the world to the judges, Captain Logan, Vince, Mr. Fusion, Review Spot, and of course the real Manos. I thank you guys for all your critiques, all your praises, and the couple of times I've been voted for Top Banana. And I'm definitely going to watch the final round. I'm really interested to see who comes out on top, even though I'm not in it anymore. I'll still be watching, and of course I'll still be watching Geekvolution. You guys continue to put out some really top quality videos, and so I'll definitely be tuning into those. So thank you very much for this wonderful experience of learning about myself as a reviewer and learning how to better my craft of reviewing. I certainly never would have reviewed Dane Cook if it were not for this challenge. I never, ever would have done that. Never would have had the experience of reviewing a comedian and how much of a different experience it was and how fun it was. I really enjoyed critiquing his work. And of all the other reviews I did, I never would have reviewed a Bond story. So I really got to thank you guys for broadening my horizon of stuff I review and giving me some more experience. And again, hopefully my reviews are better now that I've been going through this experience, and I certainly think they are. I've certainly learned a lot, and of course I've got to give all the thanks in the world to you guys for that. Am I disappointed? Yeah, but it's no fault. It's no one else's fault but my own. I put out definitely, and I thought my review was good, but I don't know, it wasn't as good as sXeblues and Curious Lo's reviews. I thought that it wasn't quite up to that caliber. I thought it was kind of a... I agree with what Captain Logan was saying. That it was kind of a typical review for me, and I saw that uploading it, but you know, Time Crunch says that, you know, you got to upload it when it's done. You can't finagle with it for too long past the due date, so I had to put it out, and ended up with a good review, but certainly typical. I'll agree with the judges on that, and you know, I certainly am disappointed, but again, it's no one else's fault but my own. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, and don't you guys worry, revenge will not be hitting you.
Unacceptable. Fireball.
Ah! Oh God! Oh my God! Ah! Oh my God! Stop, drop, and roll! Stop, drop, and roll!
Zazar, join me!
Hello everyone, welcome once again to Who Reviews the Reviewer. It's the final round of Season 2. It's so exciting. I'm Captain Logan, and let's go ahead and introduce my esteemed co-host. You'll love him when he's angry. It's Vince!
That's right. You guys will hate me when I'm happy.
And
And only he can prevent forest fires. It's Mr. Fusion.
Wait, trees? I don't know anything to do with trees. Okay, well, yay, trees!
It's the Manos of the hour, the Manos with the plan. He's the Manos. He's a better Manos than I. It's the real Manos.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
And you can call him anything you want as long as it rhymes with the review spot.
What does God need with a starship?
Well, we started with 8. We are down to 2. We have been reviewing reviewers all the way since October, and let's remind everybody what our final 2 contestants are playing for. The winner is going to get a chance to do a podcast with me and Vince. They're going to get to do a review with the contest judges, and they're going to, most importantly, win a $100 gift card to Amazon.com. We're giving that away finally tonight. Last time we had to vote off Zazar. He was He's number 3 and did a fantastic job. I've been talking to him a lot lately because he's been doing these live chats after my live show every other Friday. So I've actually been talking to Zazar a lot lately, and he's doing great with his channel, and we wish him all the best. The final challenge for the finale was to review your opponent's YouTube channel. So TheCurious Lo is talking about sXeblues, and sXeblues is talking about TheCurious Lo, reviewing their body of work somewhat like we have people reviewing famous people's bodies of work. And so we're going to start off by talking about TheCurious Lo's review of sXeblues.
Hello, it's TheCurious Lo here with another review. Now, for those of you that don't know, I've been participating in a YouTube reviewers competition over the last couple months, hosted by Geekvolution, whose link you can find in the description. We've had to review some crazy things like food and a short story, but this time they have us reviewing something quite interesting, I think, and that is my only remaining opponent's YouTube channel. So without further ado, sXeblues. sXeblues started his channel in January of 2011 and uploaded his first video just 1 month later on February 13th. Since then, he has made just north of 400 videos, accumulated over 45,000 views on those, and at the time of this review has 134 subscribers, but that number is rising every day. sXeblues tends to review comic books and Doctor Who episodes, but he also has the occasional movie review or sketch thrown in just to shake things up.
And we're going to start this time with Vince.
Me? Okay. I think I will begin by saying that she remains anyway, she remains pretty objective throughout. I really thought she did a good review. In fact, I think both reviews this time are pretty solid. She gives pros and cons. She even admits that certain things are nitpicks, but really, I find nitpicks to be fine. I don't care. If you feel like it's relevant, talk about it. She does flatter him a little bit by stating things like she's envious of this ability and that he's one of the best of this thing around, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's just something that I thought came off maybe a little insincere. Maybe in my head, like it's trying to make us think that she's found something so cool about him that we'll think, oh, look, isn't she being humble? And it takes away a little bit from the video experience. Not that it's a huge problem, because again, I did say that it's a good video. The only thing that I felt like this was lacking a little bit was examples. She goes through and has this extremely what I felt was like a detailed review of her opinion, but she doesn't necessarily use examples from his videos to back them up. She does refer to his videos a lot, but she doesn't go in and pull things.
You mean specific videos?
Yeah. So she'll generally talk about the types of videos that he does, but not exactly what he does in an individual video that is evidence of what she's talking about. So I have here in my notes that she gives more assessment of arcs than she does from examples from specific videos. So, overall she did a very good job. She gives pros and cons, and it is a very solid review.
What I find interesting about how they did these videos, and it was sort of by necessity rather than choice, is the fact that
that was my favorite part about it.
is the fact that it's, in a way, it hers has to be a more general overview than hers does, because again, I get pronoun confusion going on here because of sXeblues doing Curious Lo and Curious Lo. I'm going to get confused as to whose review we're doing at any given time.
Who's reviewing the reviewer?
Which reviewer's reviewing the reviewer? Well, okay, I'm getting a headache. Where was I? Oh yeah. He has over 400 videos. She has 21. So it is sort of it's sort of something they had to go into doing that, because sXeblues' video, not to bleed over into when we talk about his, but his is very specific in terms of videos, while hers is more of a general overview. And I think I agree with Vince that she probably could have taken some more specific examples, although I do think she had enough to be sufficient, but certainly she couldn't have done the same kind of thing that he did, as in like taking two videos and comparing them, then going through every single video chronologically, because that would have been a very long video.
Yeah.
But I do think she was very, very critical. Did have some good points, many of which I agreed with, things like his release schedule, and I agree with being envious of being able to post multiple videos a day. But I also can agree that you might want to space those kind of things out just to. And I also agree with, as I've mentioned before, on these here review panels, that that I could stand for his voice to be a little less monotone at times. Her on-camera shots are kind of limited, which I think is good in this case, because the lighting was just weird in this one. There wasn't really any light at all, except in the hallway way back there, and made me get the impression that she had to film this while Gabe was asleep or something. But I did like.
Did, to be honest with you, because she told me she had to knock this one out pretty late. So
yeah, I noticed that.
That's
comment
very possible.
Yeah. But
Reviews are more important.
She's like, "Shut up, Corellian! I'm trying to win some money."
I'll buy you sleep later.
Because at home we all call our significant others by our YouTube names. My wife calls me Captain Logan, and I call her Sarah. It's kind of weird.
See, I don't know this kind of stuff. But she also had a nice use of annotations at the end. I'm always kind of wary about those things, because they do look. I don't know. I never liked the way annotations look. But again, it is a pretty nice way in the way she snapped to draw attention to it. It was kind of cute. So it was a very. I agree with Vince. Both of these are very good. She just had a more general approach, and it did work in certain ways, because she was able to group things more by content and by category, like certain podcast episodes as opposed to his shorter videos, as opposed to just doing things chronologically like sXeblues did. So it was a different tack. I think both of them worked pretty well.
You guys covered a lot of the stuff I was going to say, so my time here will be kind of short. But I thought she really, really did her homework. I was kind of surprised by how many of his videos she seemed to have watched. Yeah. Regardless of the fact that, like Vince said, she didn't really talk about a lot of specific videos, but. I got it's actually kind of impressive, really, that in a 5-minute video where she talked about things pretty broadly, I don't want to say generically, but pretty broadly, I still very much got the sense that she had watched almost, if not everything he did. He has 400 videos, and she said after watching, and I believed her, after watching the majority of his Doctor Who reviews, and I'm like, you don't watch Doctor Who? And you watched that many of his Doctor Who reviews? Wow, well done. I was kind of surprised that she did as much work on this as she did, and I think that she had fantastic criticisms. I agree with Vince that maybe she was buttering him up a little bit, and I feel like she set herself up a little too much to make us think that maybe she was going to be that way, even with the title. When she said her title says like YouTuber extraordinaire, I'm like, I'm not sure I would have gone that direction. That seems a little bit too flowery for this when it's a critical review, and I think you don't want to set yourself up for oh no, everybody's going to think that I'm just gonna praise him and have nothing negative to say because I'm trying to win this contest, and I think that for some reason that'll help. But overall, I think within the video there wasn't too much of that. And when she started really getting into the criticisms, I agreed with a lot of the stuff she said. And the biggest one, and I was really glad she didn't pull her punches and that she felt comfortable going ahead and saying this. The idea that he's making mostly 3-minute videos and she is getting wiped out within a minute. That's important. If that's actually if that turned out to be what a lot of people were experiencing with a person's videos, that you watch for 60 seconds and you're really enjoying it, but you just can't get past the voice, so you quit, and the video is only 3 minutes long. That's I'm glad she felt comfortable saying that, and it didn't seem like a diss. It felt like a real criticism, and she seemed to think that Who Reviews the Reviewers was helping him get over that some, and that those longer videos she enjoyed watching a lot more. I thought it was really funny, the note about the crickets, because I haven't watched a lot of his other videos, and I had no idea that he had crickets in his room. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Manos.
Hey, how's it going? I think that she did have kind of a disadvantage in this, that he had made so many more videos than she had.
Yeah.
So, I mean, where to start? It can be a little tricky, and I imagine it was. So I probably agree with her doing kind of the overview style that she chose for this, instead of picking too many specific videos.
If you had done this video, it would have been an hour long.
With musical numbers.
No, making fun of him, it would have been amazing, but it would have been an hour long. Because, here's the thing. Me and Lance are really, really analytical, and I can't do 400 videos in 5 minutes. I couldn't begin to.
But
5 videos in 400 minutes.
Yeah, well, anyway,
Yeah, I could do that.
I couldn't do that.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. But I don't even lost my train of thought. But I really did like her intro, and then it was mainly the pretty good visuals, and watching her review of him, I am slightly very impressed by his work. This is really interesting. You're watching her video talk about his videos and vice versa. So you kind of almost you almost lose yourself as to who you're appreciating here. And and let's see, I really found myself walking away from this video fairly impressed by the work that he's done all this time, where his equipment is not, he usually does this stuff with a phone, right?
Yeah, and he still does his stuff with a phone.
It kills me. Such pretty high quality stuff with a phone, and it's like, I can just call people with mine. That's all I can do. So, she did quite a good job doing that. I don't know about seeming forced in her compliments. I consider them fairly genuine. At least I did. And as far as God, what did she call him? The extraordinaire? I don't know. That's kind of. I felt that was kind of playful, really.
Okay.
I would agree with that.
I could see it either direction, but after Vince said that, I started thinking, ooh, I wonder.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a major problem.
No. But, I just thought it was, a really good overview. And, if I wasn't familiar with him in his work, I would have been interested in checking his videos out for customers. So, good job.
Yeah, well, that's what something like this is for, so that's a really good point. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Spot, it's down to you.
Well, look who's come in to sweep up the place. I hope everyone's grabbed their jackets, because I'm about to turn off the lights.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's really hard to, first of all, come in and add anything else to something that, you guys have already covered. I mean, a lot of notes that I've made on her review was, I thought she was very personable, but, I certainly did not feel like she was pulling any punches. I mean, there was a couple of moments watching her review of sXeblues where I was thinking to myself, wow, it's a really good thing she's not reviewing me, or I'd be in some serious trouble. I don't think necessarily it was.
So was she. Look at the amount of videos you have.
I know. I have no idea what to do. But I didn't feel as if she was really blowing smoke up anyone's brouhaha with some of the stuff that she said. I thought, it's such a fine line because, to critique somebody and then also to praise them, you can easily cross that line where it seems like you're doing a lot and you're like, okay, you're really playing this guy up a lot more than maybe what he's done or what she's done. But really, I mean, for fellow competitors in this challenge, you probably analyze each other a lot more than what you would analyze if you're watching just somebody casually. So, I would say that maybe there was a genuineness to a lot of what she said. I will have to point out though that the opener, for it being her final challenge, it would have been nice if maybe she had recorded that bit at some stage where it could have been a lot brighter, a lot clearer. It kind of seemed like that was a rushed addition to the overall video, but I thought overall I thought she did a great job.
Anybody have anything to add before we go to sXeblues?
I just wanted to comment on the whether or not pulling punches thing. I did kind of get that vibe that she was buttering him up too much, but once she got to the point where she was, what you were pointing out, Captain Logan, about the 3-minute videos and the voice, wearing her out. I was so impressed that she did that. It really seemed to balance that out for me. I was impressed that she would actually go so far in that kind of critique. So it didn't bother me.
Yeah, and happily, neither of them has we'll talk about blues in a second, but happily neither of them has that thing where, like, it's praise, one little tiny criticism,
exactly.
And then a bunch more praise. Yeah. Like they both this is tough because they both clearly got this particular challenge. And I think that they were both really critical of each other, which was fantastic. And respectfully critical, which is fantastic.
Yeah. One last thing. The examples, I do think it's okay to do sort of an overview thing. And if I were just casually watching this video, it wouldn't have occurred to me that she didn't use many. I would have just been completely satisfied. But the fact that this is a competition, and it's a competition where we're comparing reviewers, I think about something that I went to see a film critic named Michael Phillips, the film critic for the Chicago Tribune. And the thing that he said is you have to have examples to back up your claims. You can't just talk about things in broad, sweeping strokes. And so that's kind of where that's coming from. Is that's sort of since I saw that speech that he gave, I can't get that out of my head. You have to have examples to back up something, and it's also more academic to have examples, specific examples.
So you're not saying that you wanted to see her focus on specific videos. You're saying that if she made a point, she needed to take 2 or 3 specific places that happens, or quote him somewhere, things like that.
Yeah, and she had plenty of time to do that. And it's not to say that she didn't sufficiently make an entertaining and adequate video. It's that I think she could have made it a little more credible by.
Well, and time, and Vince, time, like you say, is a really important factor in this challenge, because one of the things we need to really keep in mind is how well people utilized the unlimited time frame this time, because they had no time limit this time. They could make it in a half-hour video if they wanted to, and she made one in 5 minutes. So I'm not saying that that's necessarily bad. I'm saying that I think that we need to keep that in mind when we're deciding, when we're thinking about it. How well they used that liberty. Well, let's go ahead and go on then to sXeblues.
Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and today I'm here to review TheCurious Lo, a fellow YouTube reviewer and contestant of Who Reviews the Reviewers, a contest from Geekvolution, of which I am as well. And while I'll respectfully refer to her as a reviewer, it may interest you to know that her YouTube tenure didn't start out quite that way. Listen up as we take a look at the highs and lows of TheCurious Lo.
Hello, it's TheCurious Lo. Lauren here with another review.
Lo, or Lauren as she introduces herself in many of her video intros, opened her channel in an arcane and dark age from long ago, known simply as December 17, 2008, with her first video being uploaded a mere 3 days later as a contest entry, or possibly as some penance substituted for ritualistic torture, which revolved around singing Christmas carols in public. It's funny how closely those two worlds meet.
let's mix things up a little bit because I didn't actually pick an order this time. So we're going to start this time with Manos.
Hey, cats and kitties. I'm reviewing the review of TheCurious Lo from sXeblues. And I'm going to say right off, I really did enjoy this video. And it's his similar style where he's doing the voiceover various picks. And he had the advantage of the fact that she hadn't had so many videos. So he was able to focus on some of them. Actually, I think most of them, or all of them, actually. And even going back before her reviewing videos, where she was just posting stuff on for fun. And, kind of like almost giving like a historical view of her channel. And, watching this, there's a little bit, maybe a little off the cuff, but with all the screenshots you use, I have to say, like, one of the things I really enjoy about TheCurious Lo is all the facial expressions she gives in certain videos. And sometimes I've enjoyed some of the screenshots she's done, like some of the thumbnails of some of her videos. It was very well written, I thought. And, it did, like, it almost, like, created kind of a story arc where it was kind of like talking about her videos for fun, and then her gradual creation of her review videos and the improvement they've gone. Now, I also enjoyed some of the really funny bits, like the one video where she was standing in front of the refrigerator kind of shifting back and forth and making that reference like she was doing the video at gunpoint. I thought that was really funny. And
Yeah, that was hilarious.
And he even went so far to add a shot of some guy with a gun.
Yeah, I lost it when he did that.
That was extremely funny. And they were both very complimentary to each other. And you're right, they both got it. And, I've noticed in this season and what Lance has talked about in the previous seasons where, the contestants kind of will probably talk and sort of create this sort of camaraderie. And you get the sense that here, really.
Yeah,
and,
I agree. You get the sense that these two really like each other.
Yeah.
And maybe they were even, I could almost go as far as to say that maybe they were really excited that they got to go against each other at the end, because they seem to be really enjoying that.
Yeah, it was very respectful and where they each were critical, but it wasn't like, any kind of, catfighting things that you see on, these reality game shows that, we're kind of sort of, influenced by. So
no, we're going to try to add some of that next season if we can. We're going to really up the drama next season.
Oh, great.
No, we're not. But we're not even going to do that. No, we're just going to
tell me the dog's wearing my hat.
But see, yeah, I just thought it was just extremely well done.
Go ahead, Spot.
Oh, geez, how do I even add?
I gotta go find my hat.
Don't we all?
For what sXeblues has done through the course of this entire competition, I would be one to say that while he's had some stumbling blocks, I think he's gotten progressively better with every single video that he's done. Maybe the last challenge, I had critiqued him a little more, but I think as this being his send-off, I would think this is definitely one of his best overall jobs that he's done. I mean, I'm not blowing this up his wahoo either. I'm just saying that I thought he gave a really in-depth background of TheCurious Lo. I mean, I was really impressed with how much research this guy had done. To me, TheCurious Lo did a really good job, but it seemed to me like sXeblues really incorporated the idea of referencing dates and referencing what she was doing at the time of this review and the tone of what she was conveying and how she had progressed through her course of the reviewing lifestyle, as it were. And what's surprisingly enough, for the fact that this is one of his longer video entries, I found I followed him more in this video, where I was actually, I didn't feel he was monotone to the point where, I was trailing off and I'm like, okay, when is this review ending? I was really generally interested in.
He's been clearly practicing with his voice.
You know what? He really has. And I found his stills and the transitions between the stills per his narrative was probably the best in this challenge than it was in the other challenges that he had done leading up to this point. I don't know. I just thought he did a really good job. And I don't want to take anything away from Curious Lo. There's obviously a reason why both of them have made it as far as they have. I mean, Curious Lo has been consistently good, and sXeblues, you can see there has been a consistent improvement with every single video he's done. So
I would personally make the case that they have that in common, actually.
Yeah.
And not to go against you or anything, Spot, but I feel like Curious Lo has actually kind of done the same thing, where she's progressed.
Honed their craft, as it were.
Yeah, where she's really honed it. Yeah, and I think that's the thing that they both really, really have in common. And what's really cool is I feel like Blues actually kind of touched on that in his review of her, where he was talking about how she was trying things out. She did those things in the kitchen, and she wasn't real sure about that, so she got away from it, and then she got better. Yeah, I think they both do that.
Yeah.
So I just thought overall, again, both great entries, but I really, I was really impressed with sXeblues' choice of the words he was using, how well he was conveying it. I found even for the tone that we're used to with sXeblues, I found his tone was even a little more heightened at this. I mean, it was really a good calling send-off card for this guy at the end of this challenge. And that's all
Fusion.
I got to say.
Your turn.
Wait, whose
Fusion?
turn? Oh,
He's
Fusion.
Fusion. That's the problem.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Vince.
No, I said Fusion.
Well, there was talking.
Vincent Fusion.
There
That's a
was
great name. We should
yes.
amalgamate.
Yes.
Vince
Fusion.
Vincent Lance Fusion.
It sounds like a really nerdy secret agent.
I'm Agent Vincent Fusion.
I consider myself an agent.
Hello, is this on?
Yeah, we can hear you, Spot. We're all laughing.
I'm here all night, guys. Don't forget to tip your waitress.
Go ahead, Lance.
Oh, wait, it's my turn? I thought you said Vince.
It's no Fusion.
Oh, that's me. Okay,
I was
all
just
right.
making fun of you. Go ahead.
Well, I
keep
thought
this
of the
all
video
in
was
wrap.
really good, and Lance.
Manos,
Sorry.
could you go ahead and Manos, could you go ahead and go again and just speak for Fusion, and then we'll just pass him off. And
No, okay,
I'm kidding.
I'm sorry. I thought you said it was my turn.
Go ahead, Fusion.
Makes no sense. There's a video here. Of all the videos that sXeblues has done, I certainly think this is the best written one he's made. Just his, it's not just a standard collection of review points. He actually makes it fun too. He actually gives it a bit of character, which for me, especially given the fact that both in Curious Lo's critique and in my own critiques over the course of this contest, I've commented on the fact that sometimes he fails to hold my interest. But this certainly goes well beyond any of that. Just his word choice, that he gives the video a name, the highs and lows of Curious Lo. And when he opens up, he refers to the time in which he started making videos as the arcane ancient 2008. There's a lot of character to this video, and obviously that's not necessarily enough to carry it on its own, but it really is a good touch that makes it stand out more than it would if it was simply him giving all the facts. And I will go ahead and say that the way he structured this reminds me quite a bit of my own last video in this contest, and
I was thinking that too.
and I cannot help but be flattered by that. So yeah, keep doing stuff like that. You mimic me, and you'll never go wrong.
It was like if Fusion could only make videos with a cell phone.
If only, but mine barely takes pictures, so I'm not going to try that. I must have the same phone that Manos has. But let's see. Oh yeah, as I was saying in Curious Lo's critique, is that obviously they have pretty much the opposite way of tackling this. And again, TheCurious Lo has 21 videos on her channel at the moment, so he was able to really take videos point by point, even really pairing videos up that were back to back and showing how each one compared individually. So it would have, and for the most part, none of those really felt arbitrary. He didn't just do. And I was looking out for this once it sort of seemed to become a theme of his to just take these two videos and put them next to each other. It was like he's just going to take every two videos from now on and pair them up even if they have no connection to each other. But really he was able to find both an analytical and narrative thread to tie these videos together, and so these actually did match up together, like the Walking Dead versus the Aragon reviews, how they contrasted, and up to our two most recent, the Muppet Christmas Carol and Black Swan. And so I thought he really did a good job of picking up on the kinds of things that really that he could make connections to. The again, just like everybody else said before, the gunman thing cracked me up, and just that he was able to pick up on those things. Captain Logan, you mentioned that he had sort of touched on how she'd improved over the contest. I don't think that he just touched on that. I thought that was a really big component of that last part of his review, and I thought he did that really well. Mm-hmm. So again, just being able to do an analysis and a review, but make it have a strong narrative structure as well. Telling it as a history almost with the early videos versus going into who reviews the reviewers, and each part felt cohesive still. So I thought this was really wonderful. I think this is certainly my favorite of the videos he's done so far.
Lance, I wanted to ask you this question because of your point about the lopsidedness between the two channels' number of videos. Did you think that gave him too much of an advantage over her?
I am glad you asked that, because I was thinking that earlier and it slipped my mind just now.
Because I didn't even look at video count when I came up with this challenge. This was planned from the beginning of the contest before we even picked anybody.
Well, you just couldn't really you couldn't realistically view that as something you can factor in. I mean, it was there was just nothing you could do. That's just how it is.
Yeah, I think it did give him something of an advantage, but at the same time, I think based on the video that he made, I think that it just happened to be the sort of thing he could pick up on. I don't know if that makes sense or not. But. Do
you think his video, and who knows, we're speculating, but do you think his video could have been as strong as you're saying that it is had he been doing a channel that was 400 videos?
He certainly couldn't have done the same thing he had done if it had been the other way around. Again,
or it would have been longer.
Been longer, sure.
That would have been fun, seeing a 400 channel video review, two videos at a time.
Wow, that's some definition of fun that I wasn't previously aware of. All right.
That's what you get for taking away a time limit. Imagine a two day long review.
Next time we'll make it an hour, okay?
It's just too speculative a question for me to give a.
Okay. Oh, sure. I was just.
I don't know if to do that.
I think it's interesting. I hadn't even considered that before the reviews came in.
Well, it's certainly a worthy question to bring up. Given this, I mean, obviously they're both very strong reviews, so it's not as if either one showed themselves at a strong disadvantage to the other one. So man, that's the best I can say about that. I honestly do not know. I guess it depends on whether or not sXeblues was really adamant from the very beginning of doing this exact format of pairing up videos and doing a narrative structure like this.
Well, I'll go ahead and go. I think that this Christmas I'm going to throw a big party. It's going to be a marathon. And I'm going to show 4 movies. I'm going to show Black Swan and Muppet Christmas Carol, and then I'm going to show Psycho and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That joke had me on the floor. I just loved that. He was so clever this video, and he's been clever other videos, but I thought that he felt like a veteran this time. again, we keep talking about how he's having to use his cell phone, and it sometimes puts him at a bit of a disadvantage. And this time, I felt like he totally owned it. He was like, "Yeah, I'm making videos on a cell phone. What, like that? That's kind of how he came about it. I love that he's finding ways to get around the fact that he can't show any video on screen because of his limitations. So he'll show a screenshot and then give audio behind that. And it's still very effective, and he even sometimes changes the screenshots up a little bit so that you at least kind of get a sense of what the scene would have looked like if you haven't watched the video that he's talking about. And the low quality of video and everything this time felt almost charming to me versus some of the other ones, just because like I said, I felt like he really owned it. He took this kind of faux documentary style that I think really worked well for him, and he has a tendency, as we've seen in his last couple of videos before this, to kind of pick a style and parody it a little bit, but so far he's only done that around the videos, where he did that Mission Impossible thing, but it really had nothing to do with the rest of the video. And I love that he abandoned that this time in favor of picking a style like that and kind of running through a whole video with it. It wasn't out of place, and it didn't completely take over. It wasn't like he was, trying to talk in a British accent and, totally do a documentary thing. But it was lightly sprinkled with documentary all the way through. And when he opens with a dark and arcane age known as December 17th, 2008, I was like, this is going to be hilarious, isn't it? And that's what I was so impressed with, was that it wasn't just jokes flying every second. It was jokes very specifically placed in such a way where it made what was already a really strong review even stronger by the virtue of it being so extremely entertaining. I freaking loved it. It was very fun.
Oops, sorry. They weren't just jokes for the sake of jokes. I felt, just like the thing with the gunman. It was used to make a critical point, but just to make it more palatable. It worked. It flowed with that rather than just being here's my analysis and here's a part to make a joke.
And I feel like it may have been a little bit of a risk for him, although it's not like he's never made jokes in his reviews before, but just in the sense that if it had looked like a crutch, it would have been a real problem, if that's all it was. And it wasn't. I'm not going to go into what all you guys already said about what the criticisms were and how smart they were, but it was. It would have been a strong review even without that stuff, but like you guys said, it was an 8-minute review and it didn't feel like 8 minutes, and I really enjoyed it, and I feel like this feels like the culmination of his work, man. Great stuff. Go ahead, Vince.
Finally, it comes down to me.
Comes down to Vince.
That's
Someone's
right.
turning off the lights.
Get your jackets, guys. Okay.
He's flipping the closed sign.
I really
He's
like
turning off the music. Sorry.
The music. I really like his word choice. It seems really hyperbolic and funny, and everybody's talking about the arcane thing. I like to point out that he calls the audition video for this competition, he calls it an oppressive format, and it cracks me up.
Sorry for being oppressive.
It's true, but it's funny. I mean, to call it, it's like wow, it's kind of demandingly short. Yeah, I get it. But
that was my one gripe. I'm sorry, Vince. I just remembered this. That was my one big gripe about this, is that I felt like he talked way too long about that, because he was comparing that to a video that was that Aragon review that was 10 minutes just before that, and he was talking way too much about length when that other video had to be that short. I didn't really understand why he spent that much time on that.
Well, I think he was talking about how good it was, despite the fact, like this is where she's going and she's improving.
Oh, really? Wow, I didn't really get that from it at all. I felt like he was kind of. It almost felt like he was complaining about her choice. You know what I mean? Where it was like it was 2 minutes and you had to really rush it and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, I don't know. It was for a contest, but you might be right.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but you may have a good point.
I felt like
anyway,
he was kind of fishing for criticism a little bit there, but he had plenty of other places. So
his word choice was hilarious. He's very comprehensive. He had loads of examples. He was very specific. Granted, as I think it was either Manos or Spot earlier that pointed out that he had the luxury of having a much shorter list of things that he needed to review versus what Curious Lo did. and so therefore he can afford himself the opportunity to pull examples. But I still think Curious Lo had the opportunity. Yeah, he supports his claims, and that's very important. For his voice, the voice is still an issue, but I think I'm going to have to credit it to potentially being mic problems.
I think it is at this point. I think he's doing everything he can do.
Yeah.
Well, anybody else have anything to say about sXeblues?
I know it's something small, but I really like the fact that he incorporated the audio of Curious Lo near the end of the review.
Yeah.
Hmm?
It's kind of like she was giving a little nod to her own kind of reviewing. I don't know. It was small, but I just like the fact that it was there.
Oh, another thing I'd like to say is I like the fact that he uses stills of Curious Lo rather than video, and he moves the stills every so often, and I find that interesting. Like, it's not something huge, but I appreciate it.
Well, and I was talking about that a little bit too. It's kind of a minimalistic thing where he would be using video if he could. But because he's so limited with his upload times, he's trying to figure out some way to do it, and it ends up coming off as charming rather than glaring. Well, folks, we are at the end of our deliberations, and it is time now finally to choose the winner of Season 2's Who Reviews the Reviewers. We're not going to be doing a vote-off, of course. We're going to be choosing the winner. And I'm going to open up the floor to let you guys decide who wants to go first.
I'll go first.
All right, go ahead, Vince.
That was easy.
Vince, who do you choose as this year's winner of Who Reviews the Reviewers?
I'm going to go with sXeblues mainly on the fact that he supports his own, supports his claims a little bit better in this one. It is a competition. They both made perfectly good videos, not necessarily perfect videos, but they were both satisfactory and they did a very good job. And I would like to watch these things outside of the competition. The trouble is who do you pick? So I'm going to pick the one that supported their claims a little bit more.
Yep, fair enough. Manos.
And so, this episode of The Hunger Games ends with me choosing. With me choosing sXeblues. That's it.
Does that mean that if he wins, Curious Lo is dead?
Well, let me just say the odds were in his favor.
Go ahead, Lance.
You stole my joke.
Write another one!
Well, since I can't be funny, I'll be sincere. Or at least
Give me back my hat!
Curious Lo, sXeblues. I love both of you with all of my heart. You're wonderful. You both did some wonderful videos this time. Now, you both really did make videos that were entertaining and critical and enjoyable to watch. Pinpointed the challenge wonderfully. And it's glad to have you both here. Unfortunately, I can only pick one of you to take home with me and shower with affection. And in this case, it'll have
The candy for money.
it'll be it'll be pretzel M&Ms. And in this case, I'll have to go with sXeblues, the bearded one. I'm not sure. I can't speculate if the number of videos has something to do with this, but his just worked for me, and it was structured in a way that I really found fascinating and wonderful, and just worked on a multitude of levels. But they were both wonderful, both great. These guys have both come a long way. So good job to both of you.
Review spot.
I choose you, Charizard. Wait, what are we doing?
You're closing up shop!
Oh, that's right. I'll be like Carol Burnett with my little, okay. So, I thought both of them did an incredible job, but you know what, for me, I like to base my pick on who has progressed and bettered themselves throughout this entire challenge. And I really think that, while there was the stumbling blocks and everything else that's happened, I think overall, I've been the most impressed with sXeblues, so I'm going to go with sXeblues, and I'm also going with you, Charizard. Both of you with me.
I'm taking Squirtle.
No, Squirtle does squat all.
Rumph.
These were both absolutely excellent videos. absolutely fantastic, and both of these contestants have been impressing me more and more as the contest went along. And once again, I want to mention that I feel like that it came down between the two that the contest seemed to have changed and helped to grow the most. And not to tune our own horns or anything, but I'm really, really proud of that. And I'm going to go ahead and also choose sXeblues based on the fact that I felt like his video was a tad more entertaining than Lo's. I feel like both of them were structured very well, and both were fun to watch. His was just a little more fun to watch, and that's why I vote sXeblues. So now, announcing the winner of Season 2 of Who Reviews the Reviewers, it's sXeblues! Yay!
Do we have music?
Oh yeah, it's playing right now.
Oh, what is it? What is it?
Well, just can't you tell?
Wait.
Here he is, the reviewer of the da-da-da.
Believe it or not, I'm walking in.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones.
sXeblues is the winner of a $100 gift card to Amazon.com, and he's going to do some cool stuff with us, the judges of the contest. So we can't wait to talk to him. Hopefully, if he's able to get on Skype. I just thought of that. But hopefully down the road we can make that happen. But anyway, congratulations to you, sXeblues. It was a great year. It's a fantastic contest. And hey, guess what, guys? We had no giant lows this year.
Yay!
How exciting is that? We managed to go 3 weeks or a month every time. So
And this is
And no judges have bailed.
Earlier
no
than
judges have bailed.
No judges
Yay!
have bailed.
Yeah, that's because Spot's awesome and he came back.
Yeah, and I only got married once, so there you go.
Spot, thanks a lot for coming back. Thanks for staying with us the whole season. We've loved having you with us, and we really hope you'll do it again. I am planning on bringing this back for Season 3, for at least one more season, depending on how well the next season goes.
Will it be coming back with a vengeance, though?
No, absolutely with a vengeance.
Nice.
Yeah. We'll be like daggers and everything.
Will it be coming back with Avengers?
No, it's going to come out well before the second Avengers film, Vince.
Oh, good. That's better.
Yeah.
You need
Actually,
a new
wouldn't it be
logo.
great? Wouldn't it be great if Who Reviews the Reviewers came out with Avengers? Like if that was like the cartoon before the film?
Ooh.
So everybody, you've got several months to be thinking about what you want to do for your 2-minute contest entry, and we are very, very excited to see who attempts to jump into the crazy foray of Who Reviews the Reviewers next year to win whatever awesome prizes we'll be offering next time. I'm going to increase the price once again if I can. I'm not promising anything, but I'm hoping to do it again. So anyway, guys, thanks a lot for being with me all year. I love you guys. I love doing this. Never get tired of it. Manos, Spot, Lance, Vince, you guys are great.
Yay!
Is there
You too,
different
Cap.
music playing now?
Yes, Spot. Now that you've said that, there is.
We need some really good friend music right now. Or that
You know-
Incredible Hulk music.
Hey, nobody sing anything. No, that would be really depressing.
Do we have that Incredible Hulk music when he's walking away down
Yeah,
the
we
side
don't-
of the street?
Thanks a lot for listening to Who Reviews the Reviewers. We'll see you next season. I'm Captain Logan.
I'm Vince.
Oh crap! I lost the list.
No, I know where it is.
Oh, okay, it was me. Oh, yeah, I'm screwing this up so bad tonight. I'm Mr. Fusion. I am Mr. Fusion.
I am the review spot.
And I am the real Manos.
That's
Hope
not
everybody
true.
had a great time. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot. See you later.